Hey guys, welcome to the Magfed Ranch Paintball channel, and today I'm going to be doing a versus video. But before we get into it guys, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, share, and comment. Okay guys, let's get into it. So today's versus topic is going to be M17s with bipods versus T15 setups with bipods. Okay guys? And of course, specifically, we're talking about the DMM or SPM setups, guys, right? So the designated Marksman Marker or special purpose markers. Obviously for, longer distance engagements, more stable shooting platforms, right? Obviously longer barrel setups as well, guys, too. This could also fall into, of course, a sniper setup as well, too, guys. If we're looking at using kind of like the M17 style clone, or even maybe like the Mark 11 style clone of markers out there with the 20-inch barrels. Of course, if you wanted to build a T15 with a 20-inch barrel, that would be following more of course, kind of like the, the full-size AR-15 type of clone build, right, guys? So there are 20-inch AR-15 style builds that you guys could clone as well, too. But let's go over the markers that I have on the table real quick. So for the T15 category, I have our MR12 Mod 1 marker clone. But this could be very similar to like our MR12 Mod O, or of course our Mod H, right? Or even our Steel Recce rifle clones, right, guys? So any one of those kind of DMM setups with using the T15 platform. And of course, for the M17, we have our SDMR clone here, right? Our H&K SDMR style rifle clone with a bipod this time too. So in a previous video, I had stated that I was going to put a bipod on it for you guys to kind of compare the two different setups with bipods. And so here we are. Let's talk about the bipods real quick, guys. I always recommend using high quality bipods. Just in my experience using, airsoft or maybe just, UTG, like, kind of, for lack of better words, cheaper bipods. They just don't work that well, guys. They break, they don't hold, their balance, the mechanism where they protrude, right? The mechanism where, the push button is just very crappy, for lack of better words, right? The Harris stuff works just really well, guys, okay? This is the Harris 6x9. I believe it's their SBRM model. Okay, guys? We mounted it on obviously a Picatinny mount using a KMW locking device, okay, guys? So you can see here, it is a swivel locking device that allows the bipod to swivel on the Picatinny receiver, okay, guys? Really nice setup, very, very similar to what you would use on a real steel setup, guys. So I have that similar setup on both markers here. Now, what I really wanted to show you guys, besides just the fact that you could obviously definitely use it on our Magfed first strike shooting, rifle barrel markers, but I wanted to compare the difference in terms of the magazines capable, obviously in terms of the height over the floor, right? When you guys use the different magazines, because typically with the bipods, we're going to be using it in a prone position. Now, of course, you can definitely using it off a barricade, a bunker, a berm, right? Just some type of like DM kind of setup, shooting position. But when we're talking about the prone position, the magazine size and height and length really comes into play, okay, guys? And so I wanted to show you guys what the M17 would look like with its different magazine setups, okay, guys? So for obviously, let's start with the shorty mags. With the shorty mags, as you guys can see, whether that's the Grisen G-Mag or the 11-round shorty mag for the T15s, we have plenty of clearance, right? We have plenty of clearance for our markers to be able to shoot in the prone position, okay? Right? The magazine's not going to get in the way. It's not going to hit the floor before you have to, like, you know, if you, let's say, for example, if you had to shoot at a very far distance, let's say, you know, 150 yards, past 100 yards in essence, and you have to angle the marker up higher to take that shot, we're not going to have an issue with the magazine bottoming out before we can achieve that angle, right, guys? And of course, you can obviously achieve pretty much any other angle with that magazine. So very similar to the M17 setup with the Greisen mag, it's the same thing, right, guys? We can pretty much tilt it as low as we need to take that long distance shot, and of course you can compensate that distance with the FSR adjustable riser, right, guys? So that would be kind of the shot that would require from the prone position a shorter magazine, so that way you can get that angle of your marker needed to take that shot. Okay, guys? Now, with the longer magazines, this is kind of where we kind of lose out on that capability. And with the T15, because the magazines are longer than the M17 mags, now just by a hair, guys, not by much, right? Because the square collar sits up inside the M17. As you can see, the T15 magazines are a little bit longer. Even with the latest generation 18 round FSR mags for the M17, you can see that the T15 is still just a hair longer. This was the 15 round original Mil-Sig magazines, guys, and so you know, like I said, it's only holds 15 rounds, so it's a little bit shorter. But as you can see here, with the 19 round T15 magazine, you can see that we're bottoming out on the magazine before we can achieve that angle for the longer distance shots. Okay, guys? And so, yes, this would be a better magazine for, like I said, a DM position where maybe you're shooting off of a bunker, a berm, or just like a hill. So that way you don't have to obviously take that long angle. And then also you would want the higher capacity in those situations as well, because you know you're not in a sniping position to say like the prone position would be. So you might need to take more shots in that role, in that situation anyways. All right. Let's switch this back to the shorty magazines so I can rest the marker on the table. Now with the M17, guys, even with the 15 round magazine, you'll see that even though it bottoms out, I can still get quite a decent angle. So it will allow me to take a little bit further range shot than the T15 with the 19 round magazine. And so, like I said, I think the 15 round magazines with an M17 DMM setup or even sniper setup, I think it's just a really good overall, you know, marker that will kind of achieve a lot of different situations, right? I mean, this one has a 16-inch barrel, guys, and so it's still very accurate out to the 100+ range, but you can still use it in CQB distances. It's not so heavy with the M-Lock handguards, even with the Bipod. And like I said, with the 15 round FS magazines, you can still, you know, obviously engage a lot of targets, but it gives you the flexibility being able to take that long distance prone shot if you need to because of its height compared to the T15 magazines. Okay, guys? And then also just the fact that the M17 style of magwell, guys, it just fits into the marker a lot more. So it's just inside the magwell a little bit more than the T15 setup. Okay? And so I will show you that here with the 18 round FSR mag. Okay, guys? So as you can see here, it still can take, you know, a slight angle, right, compared to the T15. Let's compare the two markers real quick. I'll try to compare the two markers for you guys real quick. Let's do that. Okay. So, hopefully that doesn't tilt on me. It's sitting still. Okay guys, so here, let's real quick. So you can see the angle of the T15 before it bottoms out, right? Okay. So, you know, still can take a decent angle. This angle is probably still good out to like, you know, 80 to 100 yards if I had to guess. That would be a good video for you guys one of these days to test what that maximum distance would be in the prone position versus the 18 round M17. Okay guys, so that's kind of why I wanted to shoot this video, is just to compare the two angles for you guys in terms of which one would give you a little bit more of an angle. So I mean, I can just, looking at it, it's very close, you guys. The M17 is angled slightly higher, so it would be able to give you a little bit longer distance of a shot. But like I said guys, that was my tabletop review of the different magazines using the bipods on the different marker setups. Guys, if you guys like that video, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button. Peace.